And so the most degrading thing is the word for butterfly is bimbe.
Welcome to We're Friends No Matter What, right? Episode 8. It's just me and Clark this time. Clark just got back from Fiji about a week ago.
Well, I got back with my girlfriend, Bella. She came with me. And we had a freaking blast.
I'm so glad. I want to hear all about it.
So we went for 3 weeks, and it was a 2-hour flight to Los Angeles and then an 11-hour flight to Nandi. And we wanted to travel a lot, so we started from Nandi, and then we stayed there for a couple days, and we met some locals, and they were selling this, like, what is this? It was like a tour thing on one of their popular islands called Beachcomba, and it was awesome. So we took the boat, went and enjoyed the island. They had breakfast, lunch, and dinner for us. It was all a buffet and everything. And we got to see the turtles. We got to see the glass bottom boat with all of the little fishies in the reef. And we got to feed the fish as well. But the traveling in Fiji was a lot, because if you're trying to go around, the whole country, you've got to take buses, you've got to take planes, and you got to take boats.
How big is the whole country?
The whole country is about the same landmass as New Jersey, which is about a seventh the size of Utah, I believe.
That's pretty small.
It's pretty small, but when you're there, it's big.
Right, it's just a bunch of different islands, kind of like Hawaii, but way more.
Yeah, so Fiji is like hundreds of islands, and I think 150 of them about are inhabited with villages and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So Belle and I got to visit the two biggest ones, and 1, 2, 3 smaller ones.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How big are the biggest ones?
The biggest ones, I don't know really how wide across. I just know that the main island, it takes about 5 hours to take a bus to the other side.
But you're probably on dirt roads.
No, they have a main highway there, just like a one-way or like a two-way highway. So it's all right.
It's like developed?
It's developed, yeah.
I just remember your stories from your mission that you just lived in a shack about the size of this room.
We actually did get to visit that area.
Oh, really?
So what we did was we took a bus to Suva, and then we took a plane to Lambasa, and we met some friends there who were from the branch in the area, and they picked us up, and we took a 3-hour, 4-hour truck drive, into the bush, into that crazy dirt road that just reminds you of an Indiana Jones movie. And once again, I got to see all my favorite people there, and I actually didn't get to see the shack. Supposedly they redid it now, and so it's got like solar power. It's got hot water. It's got the whole works. Yes, unfortunately, I didn't get to enjoy it, but I mean, living in a tin shack was fun on its own.
Oh, I bet.
Spent 10 months in a tin shack, and it was about 100 square feet, 10 by 10 shack.
Something you mentioned when you came home from your mission, you said you were surprised you didn't come back with any bed bugs or any sort of insects. Did you run into any insects that you were scared of on this trip? Oh, yeah. So our first night in Nandi, we immediately, right in the morning, I found some bed bugs at the end of our sheets, and they were full of blood. They were enjoying our feet that night. And I didn't really want to tell Bella because I was nervous that she would be nervous for the rest of the trip. And so I was like, yeah, I'll just tell her at the end. But it kind of slipped out kind of in the middle or like toward the beginning of the trip. I was like, just remember that we're going to have to quarantine our stuff because we've probably got bed bugs all over our stuff now. And so when we went home, we had to quarantine everything, either leave it in 130 degrees heat to kill off the bed bugs. So just leave it in your car.
Yeah, so I left my bag in a plastic bag, and so like it kept all of that heat, so there's no wind. And then I left it outside in the hot sun. That was 97 degrees that day, and so yeah, car would have been good though.
Bed bugs are terrifying. I've seen videos of them like hiding in like little wood cracks, and then someone will put their finger next to it, and
And
a
they'll
whole
come out.
swarm will come out,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like, ooh.
Yeah, they're kind of disgusting, but I got used to them on my mission. I actually found that if you leave the giant spiders in your apartment, then they eat the bed bugs. So, yes.
Spiders serve a great purpose.
Yes, they're really scary, but they're actually really nice. They're kind of playful.
I had another good question, but I forgot it.
That reminds me, the scary spiders. Bella and I were invited to a really bush island. It was kind of out there. There are no stores. There's one small school, like primary school there. I mean, it's like bush, bush, bush. And the guy from Nandi said, "Hey, go visit my uncle there. He's the chief of the village. They'll welcome you in. You'll just enjoy the village life there for a few days." And we're like, okay. So we took a boat there and we made it to the island, and Bella and I just had a blast that day. We just had so much fun. Seeing the island, going on hikes, trying out fruits, delicious island foods. And then nighttime came and everything got scary. Bella was in a tin house in a place in an island she doesn't know, with a language she doesn't speak, trusting me that I'm going to make sure that everything's going to be all right.
That's a scary thing.
Yes, very
Trusting
scary. So, yeah, I owe it to her for that. But in the middle of the night, she wakes me up just bam, 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 bam. Clark, Clark, get up, get up. I'm like, what? And she's like, Clark, there's a bug. And I'm like, I'm just kind of, and she wakes me up again. Clark, there's a bug. Can you get it off? And I look at it and I see it's this, one of the giant moths there. And so the moth is like, it's got this huge wingspan and the body is just giant. Like, they're not like the Utah moths where they got little teeny weeny bodies. These are like fat, big cockroach sized bodies. And they're huge and they're heavy too. And so it fell. It was spreading its, making noise in the rafters or whatever. And then it fell on Bella's sheet, just right on top of her. And she was trying to like push it off. Lo and behold, we wake up and I found the bug because I slapped it off and it was kind of disoriented for the night.
Clark, y combo.
Clark Ikumbo.
That's where I thought it was going.
No, anyway, we just thought it was just this cute little moth the next day, and we told our hosts, and they're just laughing, and they're like, "Hey, like she's not used to the bugs here, give her some credit."
They're probably just like, "Oh yeah, that's
like
an average Tuesday."
And so the most degrading thing is the word for butterfly is bimbe. It's the most evil sounding word on the planet.
Bimbe.
Yes, bimbe.
Sounds like bimbo, but
yes. So
that is very degrading.
Yes. Bella had experienced a lot of new things. She got to see a swarm of hermit crabs.
How was that?
On the beach. How's what?
The swarm of hermit crabs.
Well, she was kind of scared, but she got through it. She's pretty tough. She's a tough cookie.
How does that look like? Is it just
so?
Is it like the swarm from Pirates of the Caribbean, where they're like waves like falling on top of each other, or
no?
Is it more intense than that?
No, it's pretty much like if you can imagine like a line of ants coming in to and from the ant hill. That's kind of what it was like, but it was hermit crabs coming to and from the ocean to the I don't know, the bush from the beach.
So they're all in like one line.
Yeah, they were in lines, kind of like a horde of hermit crabs going each way.
That's cool. I thought it was definitely more like Pirates of the Caribbean style.
No, but that'd be kind of cool though.
That would be super cool. Did you fish?
I did fish. I got to fish for a few days. Not as much as I wanted, but I definitely caught some fish on the tidal waters. I caught a barracuda.
A barracuda?
Yes. Dun, 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 dun.
You got revenge for Nemo.
Oh, that's true. It was barracuda who killed all of the siblings.
It was barracuda. Mm-hmm.
Sad.
Yeah. What else did you catch?
I caught what's that big fish name in Hawaii? Like unu.
That's their state fish.
Yes, I caught one of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was cool. Bella has a picture of it. Maybe we'll give it to you so you can show it.
That reminds me of my coworker who's Hawaiian, and she's like, "I want you to try to say the state fish." I was like, "All right." let's figure it out. And so she sends it. And I was like, humu humu numu numu apua a. She goes, you nailed it. And I was like, yeah, it's a song from High School Musical. And she's like, no, it's not.
No,
And I was like, yeah, it is. So I pulled it up. She's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, it's good. Well, when we went to that bush area that I was talking about earlier, Bella was so excited. But the next morning, we were doing our laundry in the river, just enjoying the views, enjoying the water. You know, the water's like swimming pool temperature. It's just
So when doing laundry, is it just like, no soap?
yeah. So you use soap, and so
But you're in the river, isn't
right.
that?
So you rinse the clothes out in the river, try and get all the dirt out as much as you can, and then you rub it with like a really abrasive brush and soap on a big rock,
Okay,
and
like
then
the
you
old
rinse it
times.
out. So yeah, it's similar, but not as good as a normal washboard. Anyway, so
Gotcha. Okay.
Bella's walking up the stairs and we're joking around and Bella jokes, "Oh, I need to throw up." And you know, I'm laughing and lo and behold, I look up and she's throwing up. And
Did her face not like go white?
I don't know, but we were having we joke around so much that you know, like I don't take her seriously sometimes, and so when you know when the boy who cries wolf when there's actually a wolf, you know, and I look over and I'm like, oh no, okay. So lo and behold, little did we know, but for the next 4 days we were taking care of food poisoning.
Oh, do you know what you got it from?
We suppose it was from the airport the previous morning. We ate fried chicken and it didn't taste right. So we're assuming that they cooked it the day before and then left it in the serving container unheated or anything overnight.
Yeah, that's not good.
Unchilled, that's what I meant.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
Yeah. So Bella unfortunately got food poisoning 3 times.
3 times while you guys were
Three
there?
times. So the first time was about 4 or 5 days of sickness. The second time was about 3, and the third time was about 2 days of sickness.
That's like half your trip.
Yes. Well, the third time was after we got home. So
Gotcha.
yeah, but she's
I
a
got-
trooper.
I got food poisoning once from Disneyland, and that was not fun.
Was it the clam chowder?
No, I don't like clam chowder. It was from Flo's, the Flo's Diner.
Oh, okay.
And I ate something wrong there, and I was stuck for like 2 days in the hotel with my parents,
Miserable.
enjoying their time in Disneyland, and I was home alone,
Miserable.
and I threw up all over the bed.
Nice. They deserved it.
And I was like, Mom, I don't know what to do. She goes, call room service. They'll come take care of it.
Mom, I threw up.
I threw up.
I threw up in your bed.
I threw up on the bed.
So you're the kid who actually threw up on mom and dad's bed.
Yeah.
Mom and dad, I threw up in your bed.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But we had a blast. So we were planning on just kind of like going bush, maybe going to like a village or something in Savu Savu and enjoying the beaches there on the other side of the island. But because Bella got so sick, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna spend some extra cash and get us a nice bure. So a bure is like this Fijian cabin, and it's just got gardens around it, and it's got all the amenities and facilities. I gotta sneeze in a sec.
Yep. There it is.
I gotta sneeze a second time.
Bless you.
I think I got a sinus infection
Oh,
at the end
those
of my
are
mission. Or end of my mission. Oh no. At the end of the vacation, I inhaled a little bit of water from one of the rivers we were swimming in. And I've been sick ever since.
that sucks.
Just a little nosy nose. Runs.
Oh.
Anyway, we went to Savu Savu and I got us a nice bure. And it was so cool. It was totally modernized. It had electricity. It had spring water coming into the sink. It had a fridge, freezer, hot shower, good toilet, nice bed, couch, TV. It had the works. And it was so nice. We stayed there for 3 days, 2 nights, and it was fun. It was right next to a beach, and it is for introverts. We were pretty much the only people there. I think there were another 2 couples staying in another one, but it was like a quarter mile away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's one of those.
Yeah, and it was just private gardens, private lawn, private everything. It's just like there was nobody there.
That's really nice.
Yes. Bella, while during our whole trip, um, she loves animals, and she found so many friends to meet. She found some in that bush area that she loved. They helped her get her better from her sickness.
Nice spoonerism.
Yes.
Nice.
There were these four little pups that she was just infatuated with. There was one pup that was climbing on my fishing tackle box, and that's her phone lock screen now.
Oh, too cute.
Yeah. We're gonna put that up on the podcast as well.
Send
And
it
then
to me.
on our way back from when we were going to Sabu Sabu, it was really late at night, and we went into town, and it was this green ambient lighting. We were gonna get some Fijian barbecue, and the family were sitting in the back, me, Bella, and the girl in the family. She's about 13, and we see this creepy dog come out of the fence. This creepy stray dog, and the dog's head slowly morphed into this giant neck, which morphed into its body. It was just like this conical shape of a dog. It was really creepy. And so the girl's like, "Oh, that's a creepy dog. That's kind of scary." And Bella and I are like, "Neck dog, neck dog." She was like kind of concerned by our joy we had while we were looking at this poor crazy looking deformed dog. Neck dog. She also made friends with dogs in Suva, friends with the dog at the beach.
Are there any animals there that we can't see here?
Mongoose.
I thought they were here.
I don't think there are mongoose in the U.S. Maybe in Florida or something.
Let me check.
Yeah,
But
give that a check. They also have different types of like tropical frogs, tropical birds, and indigenous fish. But most of the mammals, I think all the mammals there are introduced. They do have their own endemic species of duck, which I guess it counts as a bird. What do you see?
I just find the bikes.
Oh. The word for mongoose in Fijian is manipusi. Don't laugh. What? What? What's so funny? Stop laughing.
Oh. Okay, according to National Geographic. Oh, psych. I want a map.
Okay, let's see. U.S. habitat in Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. They are most abundant in their drier habitats, but in Hawaii they inhabit rainforests. In both, they can be found near human settlements.
So
small Indian mongoose.
typically,
Indian mongoose. So maybe they're
mongooses are primarily found in Africa.
Africa. Okay.
But they can pretty much live wherever, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it seems like they're also invasive in Texas right now.
Really?
Yep.
Just like hogs?
Just like everything in Texas.
Yeah. There's this thing in Texas where you can go rent a helicopter and guns and shoot down hogs.
No, we're doing that.
You literally have like a fully loaded AR-15 and you empty a clip into a hog.
We're doing that. That sounds like
out of
so
the
much
side
fun.
of a helicopter.
That sounds like so much fun.
Right?
Out of the side of a helicopter. So you guys go, you just flag down hogs and then...
Mm-hmm. They're so invasive.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
True. Well, anyway, our trip was awesome. While we were in Nandi, I mean, we're just kind of going all the place, but it's not chronological. But when we were in Nandi, we knew that there's this fancy resort island called Denarau, and that's where all of the Australians and American tourists go. Denarau.
Why do they go there?
It is a man-made island. It's super nice. It's just, it's resorty. It's gorgeous. Well, the whole thing is a garden and a golf course, and it's just got
so
beaches.
it's kind of what they want to do with Utah Lake.
Yes, it's kind of like that. It's all private, so we actually kind of snuck into Denarau so we could go enjoy the pools and the beaches in the back. But some locals told us that they don't really care as long as you buy something from there. So if you go to the restaurant and eat there, then you can go to the beach and the pools. But we didn't know that, so we snuck in. We thought we were so cool.
I think that's how you get banned from Fiji.
Yes.
I can see them being one of those, you disrespected me this one time, you lose all privileges kind of people.
Yeah, maybe, but they also love tourists because that's their main source of income. And right now there are so few tourists in Fiji that hotels are opening their pools to the general public.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff, and they're just so glad to have us.
I know
Every single hotel owner was like, "Hello."
a lot of people are headed to Tahiti and Bali
Mm-hmm.
right now because
Interesting.
I think it's pretty cheap, but I know like 3 people that are going there in the next
Interesting.
month or 2.
Tahiti is a super nice place to vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Fiji's a little bit harder because they don't really have their systems updated with online information. Fiji's pretty much like completely runs on word of mouth still. So if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know.
But they have some resorts there.
Yeah. So they have American and Australian owned resorts that you can find online, but most of the Fijian resorts are just word of mouth.
Oh, so if you want a Fijian owned resort,
Yes.
word of
You
mouth.
you have to be in it with them.
Gotcha. Do you know any of them?
Yeah, so we have connections with some of those Fijian resorts now, and honestly, like they sound so much fun.
Do they sound better than the U.S. and Australian ones?
I would say a fifth of the price, for sure, but maybe not as nice as you'd hope.
Gotcha.
So like they may have bed bugs, they may not have bed bugs, they may, I don't know, their fridge might not work, and they don't care, but you might care. So
Yeah, I get that. So
it may not be up to American and Australian standards, but it would be way above their standards.
yeah. I know that I have a tenant right now who doesn't have hot water, and the maintenance guys there getting replacing the water heater, and that's technically considered an emergency in the U.S.
Really? Hot water is
Hot
being an
water is
emergency?
considered like essential
I didn't know that.
in the U.S.
Really?
Yeah. So if someone doesn't have hot water, then in our eyes, as a property manager, you have to get it replaced.
Wonder how soon they'll make that for Wi-Fi.
I don't know.
Bad joke.
But yeah, so Jen was asking about that earlier today.
Interesting.
So that reminded me of the
Mm-hmm.
you talking about broken fridges reminded me of that.
Yeah. I know that the government right now is working on trying to get power for everybody, K through 12 education, and access to all of the homes and stuff. They're trying to build roads everywhere.
That's what you were saying is they were dumping a ton of money into education for their younger citizens.
And they also have some huge subsidiary programs for higher education as well as septic tanks. So they're trying to, trying to keep the place clean and trying to modernize and educate everyone. So
that's great.
yeah, I mean everyone our age is way smarter than American. I mean,
know
these kids are, they already speak 3 languages and they're learning college level math, college English, college everything.
And they're in 5th grade.
Yeah. Their education system is a lot more intense than the American one we know.
I know. I hate the U.S. education system. It's not my favorite at all. But that turns into I interviewed this guy today for a plumbing apprentice. And we were talking about how Slick has a trade degree.
Yeah, like an apprenticeship program.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool. You should check it out.
Yeah, I should, but the thing is my job right now is pretty sweet. And
that's true. You're getting training on the job.
Yeah, I might go work with the plumbers and electricians a little bit. Maybe every Friday I'll go help them out with whatever they need help with, and I also am telling them what to do, so
that's true.
That's kind of nice. So I don't know, it's something I don't really need to do, but it's something I think would be a lot of fun to do. Yeah. I don't need to do it, but I want to do it. because I want to know the skills. But
Yeah, that's like getting that subscription to the wood shop or whatever thing is in Salt Lake.
yeah, hold on, I'm gonna take this.
The markets there are crazy.
Markets.
Markets, yes. So a lot of the stores, they have normal items that you can find here. They have tropical items, they have Indian items. But the fresh markets are my favorite, like the farmers markets. They are usually these big stands in the middle of town, kind of like these big open concept buildings, like warehouses.
Kind of like City Creek, but more open.
Yeah, and it's just really basic. It's pretty much just like a glorified shed,
Okay.
but giant, like huge, like acres and acres big. Anyway, they're just full and full of stands of people with fruit and people with vegetables and crops and.
I bet
kava
everything
or
there
whatever.
tastes so good.
Oh yeah, and it's really cheap too. You can, a lot of times when they look at the white people, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna raise the prices on them."
But everything's negotiable outside of the U.S.
Everything's negotiable outside the U.S.
except for Europe.
Yes.
Well, some things in Europe.
Some things in Europe. But you can also go to the stands that have their prices marked, and that's what I do. Or I'll ask the people who just bought, like, how much were those bananas? $2? Okay, great.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you talking to my neighbor who got his call to Fiji about haircuts.
Yes, so Fijians take pride in their haircuts. They are awesome. They have a style there that's really unique to the rest of the planet, and everyone does it. It's just like it's the cool haircut to do, and everyone does it. It's this sort of fade where it goes from. Okay, hiccups. It's got this, it's like this fade from the back and the side, and it gets a little bit longer. It's really clean looking. They'll use an electric laser, and then they'll use scissors, and then they'll use a straight razor blade to finish it off, and it is so nice, and I love it so much.
I had a straight razor used on my hair once, and it makes it look like so it doesn't look like it was just cut, which is nice.
Yeah.
It looks clean, but not freshly cut.
Yeah.
Which I really, really like.
Yeah, and they'll use a new blade every haircut, and so it's like really safe and nice.
How do they get those so cheap there when they're obviously not producing these razor blades?
China. So
I guess
China,
the shipping's way cheaper. What?
Well, it's not
China's
just that.
shipping's subsidized. So all of everything exported out of China is subsidized.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I believe that's right.
True. Well, also, everything that goes into the U.S. has tariffs, as well as because people know it's the U.S., they'll charge higher prices for it. Everything so many Chinese-made items that you can buy in Fiji are incredibly cheap compared to U.S.
Huh. Except for Fiji water.
They changed that now, so they actually made a supply chain in Fiji now, and Fiji water is actually cheaper than it was when I was when I was there 5 years ago. They're
Has it really been 5 years?
4 years, 4.5. Isn't that crazy?
No way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, 3.5. That's right. 2019, 2020, 2021, halfway through 22. So, yeah, 3.5 years.
Man.
That is
Because
a
we've
long
been
time.
graduated for 6 years.
6 years now. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, so you were on your mission 5 years ago.
Yeah, I was.
So 5 years ago it works.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, that's so bonkers.
Yeah. I want to do a reunion. Are they going to do one?
I have no idea, and I kind of don't care to go.
Really? I would
Yeah.
love to go.
I want to go, but I'm not going to be butthurt if I don't get an invitation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'd be cool to go, but I don't really care to.
True.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like your trip was a whole lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had a blast.
We'll have to go at some point together.
Yes.
All of us.
And I know where
Bryce,
to go now.
Jonah,
I know the resorts. I know the fancy places.
Forrest,
Yes.
all of us. We'll do a retreat.
Yeah. I know you can rent a car pretty cheap there. So we can rent some cars, rent some bures,
I'm all for it.
and we'll just have a blast.
I'm all for it. That sounds like a lot of fun. Well, anyway, thanks so much for telling us about your trip.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thanks for joining We're Friends No Matter What, episode 8. Thank you.